Let's get started. I'd like to introduce KYZEN's Regional Manager, Jason Schwartz.
Thank you, Cassie, and thank you everyone for taking the time to talk to me today about pH. We're going to focus on how to balance pH with the other factors in your cleaning process. In order to do that, we'll briefly discuss what is pH and talk about how to balance the benefits and drawbacks of different pHs with different cleaning parts and soils. Along the way, we'll discuss various misconceptions and common pitfalls around pH. So what is pH? The first thing to know is that it's based on water. Water can be broken down into two ions, H plus and OH minus. pH is the measurement of the H plus or acid in solution. The second thing to know is it's on a negative log scale. What does that mean? Well, that means that a pH of 1 represents 10 to the negative 1 or 0.1% acid in solution. A pH of 2, 10 to the negative 2 or 1% acid in solution. So acids have a low pH, under 7. Bases have a high pH, also known as an alkaline solution. And I really like this chart from the engineering toolbox because it does a good job of visualizing that. So here you can see at a pH of 0, we're at 1 or 100% acid concentration, but just jumping from a 0 to a 1 brings us down to 0.1 or 10% acid, and going even further, you get down to 1% at 2 and 0.1% acid at 3. The same thing is true for bases, right? As you start out at 14, you're at 100%, but by the time you get to 12, you're just at 1%. So what does that mean? And a big important rule of thumb we'll stick with today is that a 10% solution will be 1 pH unit closer to 7 than the concentrate. So practically, that means if you've got a drum of alkaline soap on your plant floor, and on the SDS it says that has a pH of 12, when you're using that in your washer at 10%, the actual pH is around 11. So pH is a measurement of the concentration of acid or base in your aqueous solution. And we know that most people associate high and low pHs with corrosive substances. However, acid and bases aren't as bad as you think they are. All right. This is a nice chart from Clemson University that shows the pH of many of our household products. I think most people will be surprised to know soapy water comes in at about a 12. All right. Milk of magnesia, you're at a 10.5. Soft drinks like Coke, you're down at a 3 on the other end. Lemon juice, around a 2.3. And it's because of that 10-to-1 ratio that we can see between pHs of 2 and 12, there are lots of products that we consider safe and even ingest. It's not until you get to the far edges of the scale, that 0 and 1 or 13 to 14, that we get into things that we would even consider unsafe: bleaches, oven cleaner, battery acid, hydrochloric acid. So why are most soaps alkaline, or why do they have a high pH? Well, this goes back to the old days of making soap with lye and lard, right? Oil and water are not soluble in each other, so we've got to find a way to clean oil without solubilizing it. And a lot of the important cleaning mechanisms occur more favorably at a high pH. That includes saponification, that's that old school soap making, deflocculation, dispersion, and emulsification, and those are ways to get oil off the surface of the part. And the reason for this is really a lot of the components that we use to build these cleaners are insoluble at neutral or low pHs. 9 to 10 is a good rule of thumb to figure out when they come out of solution. So when would you use a high pH alkaline cleaner? And for high pH, we're talking about 13 plus in the concentrate, but remember, we're using these in our washers at 10% or less. So our effective pH is closer to 12. We're still in that soapy water range, which is a lot better than most people think. We're using these high pH cleaners on your toughest greases, oils, and grime, right? Stuff that's really baked on there. It's great for remanufacturing applications, or you've got burnt on carbon smut. You see some really nice before and after pictures here of what a high pH cleaner can do. What are we balancing that with? Well, the other side of the coin is it's bad for sensitive metals like aluminum. Aluminum can actually dissolve or at the very least get etched at really high pHs if you don't have the right inhibition packages. So how do we counter that, right? Well, we move to a mild alkaline cleaner. So if you don't have that nasty, grimy soils on your part, this is the right choice for you. We're looking at 11 to 12 in the concentrate, which again we're using in 5 to 15%. So we're looking at 10 to 11 in the washer. You know, similar to milk of magnesia. These are your bread and butters, right? You're going Standard Oil, new part manufacturing, conveyor washers. We're getting all of the benefits of the alkaline cleaning, and we're able to actually include a lot of the inhibition packages for aluminum or other soft metals. So it doesn't matter what you're cleaning, you can get oil off with a mild alkaline cleaner. So why would I ever use a acidic cleaner? Well, if you're not cleaning oils, acid is great at cleaning rust and other oxides. It's because iron oxide or rust is soluble in a low pH solution. So if you use an acid, you can clean a part like this after thermal deburr and get all that rust off and clean it up very nicely. Same thing with the bright dip solutions, right? If you're going through and cleaning copper parts, you can really brighten them up. From a pH perspective, we're in that 1 to 3 range on the concentrate. Lemon juice. In fact, citric acid is what we use a lot in the industry to brighten up parts. So that means once you're using that at the 10% concentration, you're into the soft drink range. So you're even safer. What's the drawback? You can clean some light oils with acids, but your bath life is going to go down very fast because they're not meant to clean acids. They're meant to clean oxides. So when would I use a neutral cleaner? Well, if you've got really strict EH&S requirements, you might have to go neutral. The good news is with advancements in cleaning technology and components, we found some things that really do great on a wide variety of soils, oils, coolants, oxides, scale. We can do almost all of it with neutral cleaners. Why would I use an acid or a base if I can do everything neutral? Well, the downside, the balancing act is neutral cleaners are more susceptible to bacterial and fungal growth, which is no fun for anybody. And also they have a much shorter bath life. And they're less effective on the high-low pH counterpart, or less effective than their alkaline or acid counterparts. And another thing that we often overlook with neutral cleaners and every pH in general is I hear a lot that anything outside of a 6 to 8, if it's fallen at all into the acid or base category, that is going to be corrosive and it's going to be bad for my parts. And I like to tell people that, yes and no. The key here is contact time. Only the most extreme solutions, the ones that are really nasty, battery acid, bleach, are going to be corrosive under short contact times like you're using in your washer. What do we mean by short contact time? 10 to 15 minutes, normally even up to an hour. If you're looking at long contact times, even mild solutions can be corrosive over long contact times. If you grew up in the Midwest like I did, the salt from all the roads, if you never wash that off your car all winter, it's going to eat out the bottom of your car. You're going to get all kinds of rust and corrosion. And that salt water, that's right in that 6 to 8 range that we wouldn't normally think of as corrosive. So what's the moral of the story? Again, acids and bases aren't as bad as you think. Alkaline cleaners are great for oil removal. Acidic cleaners remove rust and scale. And neutral cleaners can do both, but generally they're going to have a shorter bath life. So thank you everyone for your time, and please let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Jason. If you'd like to discuss this topic further, please contact your local KYZEN regional manager or send an email to tech@KYZEN.com, and we will have someone schedule a follow-up with you as soon as possible. Again, we thank you all for taking time to join us today, and we hope to see you again soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and have a wonderful day.